All right, everybody, welcome to our latest Live Motocross podcast as we talk all things Detroit following a wild sixth round of the AMA Supercross season for 2025. Obviously, firstly, thank you everyone for listening and supporting the site. We really appreciate it. We'd also like to thank our sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, and Fuchs Silkerline for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, for this episode, I'm joined again by the great man, Whiskey Throttle Editor at Large, Jeff Beaver. So, how's life? And thanks for joining us, buddy.
Life's good, bud. Glad to be back home. I got off that plane in Orange County yesterday and I was just happier than a pig in shit, dude. Detroit can keep that damn weather. I hope that I told J-Bone from AMM, well, why in the fuck are we racing in Detroit in February? We could do this round in April. It would be great. And he goes, no kidding. I told Sean and those guys, I'm all, how about Anaheim 1 through 7, dude? Let's just do that. You know, people can make it a destination round. Just fly out and we'll increase tourism in Southern California a little bit. And yeah, I'll be happy, man. I can drive 20 minutes, sleep in my own bed, and it's 75 degrees all day. Let's do that. But I don't think everybody else in the country really dig that format.
Yeah, how was the crowd in there anyway, just quickly, mate? And how was the filming experience for you personally as well, being on the floor?
The crowd was great, man. There was a lot of people there. The stands were pretty full. There's no fan fest, of course, unless you want to dodge crackheads or something in downtown, I guess. But there's no the reason they don't have a fan fest is one, the weather, and two, there's no footprint to actually put a fan fest there. There's a power station, a coal-fired power station right behind the stadium, and so there's just enough parking to get the trucks in. I mean, the Pro Circuit truck actually sits in the alley behind the stadium, and then the other stadium trucks sit in the parking lot on the other side, and then the privateers are across the road in another parking lot. And it's pretty gnarly with the snow and everything. Those guys riding down the road covered in snow with their mechanics on the back. Barsh's mechanics, a rather large fellow like myself, and I looked at him when he was riding by, and I looked at Jack. I'm like, "That's a bad idea, dog." I'd tell Justin, "Hey, I'll walk." Yeah, I just see the bike just flipping out and Bam Bam getting hurt because my fat butt made it. I'm bigger than Jack, but I was like, "Man, dude, you're brave riding on the back of that bike because I know I'd make Bam Bam wreck, dude." But no, I mean it was cool. The stadium's cool. I like it. The smoke stayed in there a little too long for a lot of our liking on the filming. It made I didn't, a lot of people, unless you're into videography and photography, man, if there's smoke in there, it makes it tough. And that stadium's got weird lighting. It was really hard to get your lighting correct for the video. So some of it looks really off, but depends on where you were shooting and what angle. The stuff looked great, and other spots it was just blown out, dude. Especially with the smoke in the air from the opening ceremonies. I mean, that hung around all through the heats and LCQs and into the mains. It was pretty gnarly, but I mean, hey, can't complain. Not too many people in the world get to do what we're doing, so you just make the best of it and go. But I liked the track. The track was fast. It was fun. It was pretty good for filming, and the racing was bitching.
Yeah, well said, mate. Great insight, and the content you got was epic too. And obviously, yeah, the track was pretty good. It wasn't like as challenging as some of the other tracks, but it made for great racing, plenty of places to pass. A lot of cool stuff. The sand sections were back again, mate. How do you go with them filming? And there was a little bit of room you could make separation, but also some passing. So they're really stepping their game up with the tracks as a whole this year. And this was another example.
Yeah, the sand section was like spanning from Alaska to the Bahamas. If you were over by the start, it felt like you were in the Bahamas. It was nice. It was 75 degrees. If you were over on the other side where they came off the triple, it was right at the bottom of the tunnel, and you had 20-degree air blowing down the tunnel. It's a big draft, and you froze your ass off. So there was very few shots coming off the triple straight over to in the sand section. Everybody was shooting from over where we're at because you just froze your ass off, man. It was pretty gnarly. I mean, it was cold enough to, even down at the podium where nobody really wanted to do a champagne shower except for that guy from um, Pro Circuit and Amos from RJ. Those two idiots, the two mechanics, champagned each other. I'm like, what a bunch of morons, dude. It's 5 degrees, dude. It's cold as hell, dude. What are you doing? But everybody else was like, yeah, we'll skip it. Coop was cool. He went and showered the whole crowd. He crawled up on a skip loader that was sitting at the base of the tunnel and sprayed all the fans. They were all about it, but they were warm up there. But I'm sure they probably regretted getting wet when they went out the door.
Yeah, mate, that's awesome. It was a really good race. I guess we'll start with the 450s and we'll go on with the 250 drama later. But how good was Webb, mate? He was absolutely dialed, absolute masterclass. He hunted down Kenny, waited for the moment, and then he just pulled the trigger, made it happen. And then, that win was his. And like you got in that awesome video, it's just a matter of time, wasn't it, mate? He set up the moves. He was able to do his lines that he's so good on those surfaces, corners are dialed little bit of creativity in those sections he could use as well. But he's looking better in the whoops too. Made some really good strides with them in terms of the bike and himself. So looking pretty good, isn't he, Webb?
Yeah, yeah, Webb looked good. I mean, Roxon had him in the whoops. He every time they went through the whoops, Roxon had him covered, but Webb had him everything else on the inside, and all those turns were real open. That's what got Anstie in trouble in the restart. But uh, Webb, he was just clicking off laps, and I was sitting with Brown Dog right at the base of the triple. I said, dude, he's gonna get him, dude. I said, watch. Looked up at the pylon, and there was like 4 minutes left. I go, he's gonna get him. So I stayed right there, and that's where I got that shot of him catching him going over the triple, and he made the pass in the sand section right there. And yeah, it just warmed my heart that he beat Rocks. And the only thing I was sad was he didn't give him the finger guns, dude. I was waiting for a double barrel finger blaster, so didn't get that, but maybe next weekend if he wins in Dallas. So I think Coop does pretty good in Dallas too. So maybe we'll get some double finger blasters on whoever's in second if he wins.
Yeah, good to
Especially in
see him.
Texas. You got to do finger blast in Texas if you win, man. I mean, you go to 7-Eleven, they give you a 45 and a Slurpee. So.
Yeah, maybe Chase Sexton will be the target of those as well. And yeah, I guess we'll move on to him in a tick. But yeah, Kenny, he's really doing well this year, isn't he, mate? He has his lovers and haters, but yeah, he's got that longer sort of speed in the race. He doesn't drop off quite so easily. And just impressive how he's holding his own. He's got the speed, the skill, the technique, but he didn't really buckle there for a very long time. Obviously, Webb and him have had some really good battles in the past, but Kenny's looking like he's up for the fight and he's enjoying being in it, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to consider Ken for championship contention still, because even though he had that DNF, nothing saying that Chase or Cooper doesn't have one coming. And if Chase and Cooper have one, then it evens it up. And we're still early enough in the season where that's a possibility, especially with how crazy 25 is turning out. So he's riding well. He on the bike, I mean, you think he's doing everything all right. Off the bike, the guy needs some work, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah, mate, you still got some good content of him absolutely shredding. And obviously, Chase, talk about his night, mate. Obviously, you were there seeing it. You must have been thinking the worst after that first lap when he's hit the gate and then gone down. I don't know if it was AP flinching, but a massive effort to come back. Just really annoying. Obviously, for him, the visor was gone, so respect on that one. But he was smashing the whoops, the speed, skill, commitment. And he was actually, by the end of the race, he had the fastest lap time. Only man in the 47s, nearly half a second quicker than the next best, which was Roxon. But yeah, it's shaping up. It was a pretty good fight with him and Webb. Cool dynamic style, have different strengths. So should be pretty awesome. But it just, another week where Chase probably has missed an opportunity to bank those points and now he's level with Webb. So another one sort of was sitting in the back of his mind after Tampa, just one that got away, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he jammed that gate, it's like, oh, fuck. But and then I guess he ran into the back of Grant Harlan. Harlan cut down and he hit him. And that was right at the beginning of the race. But I'll tell you what, I sure like a pissed off Chase Sexton on the track, dude. That dude does some savage shit, dude. He was hauling ass, dude. I was so focused on the Roxon and Webb battle that I really didn't see him coming until about I don't know, 10 minutes left to go, and I'm like, oh, dude. And then him and Ando went at it pretty good, and yeah, he wasn't gonna be denied getting to that podium, dude. He was gonna knock somebody into another dimension if he had to get up to that podium. Yeah, I've got a little post I'm gonna put up when we get done with the pod. Talking about, he's like, ah, man, Grant, he didn't say Grant's name, but he goes, yeah, he cut down, I hit him. He's like, oh, you could tell he was frustrated and his bike was bent, but his bike was jacked up. He had a crash and still ended up on the podium. That's a bad dude, man. So I still think for right now, you kind of got to say Chase is the fastest dude, but I think it's a Chase and Cooper battle with Kenny nipping at the heels. you know.
Yeah, it's shaping up well, isn't it? Obviously, Chase and Webber level on 121, and you got Roxon 105, Anderson 100, and Malcolm Stewart on 95. So he's not completely out of the hunt either. And he got another fourth place to back up that incredible, remarkable win, mate. He looked strong in qualifying, looked good in the heat. So Mookie just carried that momentum nicely. Obviously, wasn't up there with those heavy hitters in this particular one, but another good ride for Malcolm, and just always having him out there is great, mate, because the fans love him, the industry loves him, and still riding that high from last week, I bet.
Yeah, and man, how great would that have been to back it up with a podium? But the fact that he didn't finish like 12th, that would have sucked. But he finished fourth. That was solid. And I still don't know what's going on with AP. I have no idea what's going on in his circle. I just
Heard he
hope he
was
figures
sick.
it out. Maybe he is. He looked like hammered dog shit after the motos, dude. So when I walked up to film Chase, he was talking to Chase, and he did not look like a happy camper. So maybe he is sick, but he looked like shit. Like I didn't want to film him. He looked so shitty, and I'm like, oh goddamn, you know. I did. Ugh. It looked like truck stop AP, not motocross AP. So. He was not in top form, but the fact that he got the two hole shots, god damn, that was nice. I liked that. That was just sweet as can be. And the whole place went nuts when he got that hole shot, and like I think Weege said, that building owes him one. I would love to see him get some redemption in Detroit. I don't think I'm gonna go next year. I'm gonna send Nate. Nate can go freeze his ass off, dude. I'll go do another round, but yeah, that was cool seeing him get that. Mookie doing solid. Justin Cooper, he had a fifth. I thought that was sweet. Forget, I think I was watching Title 24 and they were talking about you know, look at how fast Cooper's going. Once he figures out the whoops, he's gonna be battling for possibly wins. I mean, the dude rips everywhere else. It's just something's not jiving with him in the whoops right now, but at least he's smart enough to jump him every time. Not gonna be like, I need to blitz him so I can keep up. No, he's smart enough to know that I'm not comfortable blitzing them right now and I'll end up on my face. So jump away, and he's still running top five. So that's sick.
Yeah, there was a little bit of skimming from him on the weekend, which was really good, but I suppose it's a skill in itself, jumping, and he's pretty damn good at it too. So another result, strong one for him, two in a row. He's just building, isn't he, mate? He's not a title contender, but he's just working on getting out of his comfort zone to be as fast as he can and match it with these guys. Because, it's all well and good saying, yeah, you can match it, but actually doing it with these guys like Lawrence Tomac, even though they're out, but even Sexton and Webb, they're just beasts. Like not everyone can do it. There's only a handful of guys that can match it with him, and Jay Coop's right up there. So I was going to say, and Jason Anderson, obviously, he got a bit of a gift at the end there with Anderson going down. But yeah, those two guys, they're still just coming along nicely, mate. Anderson would have probably been frustrated not to get there. He was fighting hard with Chase for that podium and just a few extra points. He's still in the title hunt, but could have been even better for him, couldn't it?
Yeah, and you think you're gonna in a couple of years we're gonna lose Tomac, Roxon, uh, Webb's long in the tooth. Bam Bam's going to be gone. Anderson's going to be gone. What's that do for Justin Cooper? We'll have Deegan in there, and you'll have RJ in there, so there'll be some guys coming up. But that kind of bodes well from Cooper because there's going to be a lot of experience on his part, and he got to ride with some of the baddest men on the planet. I mean, that riding with Tomac cannot be hurting him at all with the things he's learning. So I think Jay Coop's in a good spot. I mean, a couple more years, I wouldn't be surprised if he's battling for ones with people.
Yeah, definitely in a good spot to keep building. And like you said, there will be a heavy vacation of stars from that class. And then, you look at like you said, Lawrence Brothers, Deegan, Cole Davies, Kitchen, the guys you mentioned. It's going to be pretty exciting as we build towards it, mate. But I guess looking at the rest of the top 10, Barsha, you got some absolutely awesome footage of him over the weekend. He's always fun the way he rides the bike.
Do
He
you
loves
like how
doing
I
the
was
whoops.
underneath? It looked like I was underneath him. The way that or that triple was. I mean, it was just the angle and then the lens, the focal length I was using. I saw a shot. I go, shit! It looks like. Hope those guys don't see it and go, what the hell? Do you walk out onto the track and shoot this? No, no, I didn't. I was where I was supposed to be, but just the angle of that shot and the focal length I used, it looked like I was right underneath them. I'm like, whoa, that's cool, dude. So I got a couple shots like that of some riders did, but we're back. Bam and Whiskey Throttle, we're homies again. We weren't homies for a couple years. Bam was a little irritated at us for something we didn't intentionally do, but we pissed him off, and whatever. We're pretty good at that, and so we just let it ride. And I went up to him at Tampa and told him, dude, it's time to let's put it gone. I said, you got a couple years left, and I want to make some rad fucking edits of you. And he kind of smiled. And then I walked away and I turned around, and that's when I went up to him and started singing "Why Can't We Be Friends?" And then he started singing it back, and he goes, "Yeah, I think it's time." And I put that post up, and I went to tag him, and he tagged it, and he commented on it. All right, Bam Bam's back in the fold. So, like I said, which is cool. When Bam Bam's on, man, that's good shit. So I'm stoked that we kind of mended the fences on that one. We mended the fences with, the whole Deegan thing a couple of years in the bike claim. We were on kind of shaky ground, but bygones are bygones, and apparently they like my dumb ass. And hey, look at the big retard with the camera. He's kind of funny. All right, you can play. So I'm stoked on it because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm still a huge fan of the sport. So not being able to film those guys kind of sucked. And we got that's all solved out. So just a lot of cool shit. And I'm glad I've got the opportunity to bring all those images to everybody, because when they're gone, they're gone. Like with San Diego, getting Tomac's win and getting right up in there and getting his reaction at the end. What if that was Tomac's last win? I mean, with what happened to him, will he ever? I don't know. Odds are that he's still got it in him to make another win, but Jet's going to come back that much better. All these guys are just, if they don't get hurt, they're going to come back that much better. Could that have been Tomac's last win? So to be in a position to get those kind of images, and that's kind of what I was telling Bam, you got a couple years left, and I want to make some rad edits with you, and I would hate to miss that shit. Imagine being around, and if we would have the technology and the social media we had when Bubba and Ricky were around, holy shit. That would be insane. Give me Bubba on a 125 all day, buddy. Oh my God. That would be
Yeah, it would have been
insane.
gold.
So it's been fun, dude. And the classes have been fun, and they're all coming up, but we're about to cycle a bunch of people out, and the good thing is we got some good talent coming up to fill the shoes.
Yeah, well said, bro. Yeah, Barsha and Tomac, two guys that just ride the bike so differently to, I guess, the newer school of riders. So just to hear him wedged all the time, revving, like they're just super aggressive, just great content to capture because, like you said, it might not be around for a while. And Barsha is a really good dude. Obviously, he raced that Western Beach race, which my bosses in the UK organized. And like we organized to do a podcast with him on the way to Vegas for the last SMX. Super cool dude. Had the kid in the back. He was just super chilled out. He was mentioning about the going to the Baker's factory for next year. I was like, oh, this guy's definitely serious. So it seems to be paying off. He got another solid result. Seventh, mate. So ahead of Ferrandis and AP. Justin Hill,
Yeah, he's
10.
top 10 in points, but once Jet and all them cycle out, he's really eighth in,
Yeah.
in points right now. So because those guys aren't accruing any more points, but hey, he's going back for that Weston Beach race next time, and he said he's going to be prepared. So
Oh, very
I'm
good.
praying that he's all good, because I'd like to see Bam Bam doing Bam Bam shit on that beach at Mock Jesus, dude. That could be fun, dude.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, he was a massive sort of coup for the event last year. Everyone loved him and the content was sick. Like it's brutal as. So if it all works out, mate, maybe you could jump on the pod if he's keen to do a preview like last year. It was an awesome event, man. But yeah, he's a
I'm
super
down to
cool
do it.
dude.
Shit, I'm down to go cover it. When is it? What time of year is it?
It's in October, so
Nah, I'll be busy. Fuck.
yeah. So yeah,
Anybody
no,
want to
but
sponsor
one,
me? Whiskey Throttle, pay my salary for the year so I don't have to go do refinery shit anymore. Get at me. I'll
that's the
film
way to
my ass
go.
off.
You'd enjoy it. I think there's like, yeah, I don't know, nearly 100,000 people go
Oh,
and
I've watched it on
spectate.
TV a bunch of times. It's insane, dude. It's like, why don't we have something over here like that? We got Pismo Beach. Why don't we have a Pismo Beach race? Oh, I forgot we got the California Coastal Commission and all those pickle sniffing hippies going, oh my God, the snowy plover got ran over. Fuck your snowy plover. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
mate. You can't do
We'll go
much
out
over
lay some
there.
eggs and have another one.
They take away all the liberties, eh?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Trump
try
Daddy's
to.
back. Trump
Yeah.
Daddy's back. Game on.
Yeah, well said, mate. Sure is. Any other thoughts you have on the 450 class? Obviously, a lot of talk about that HRC filling in with the Lawrence brothers both injured. Bit of talk about Savachi, Wilson, McElrath, Ferrandis. They're the guys on Hondas. So, interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, they're still doing the fan experience, aren't they, for some of the races, which is cool for them to show up for the fans. And, it's probably better in some ways because they're not racing, so you can have proper conversations with them. They're not as stressed and pressured. But Dino would slot in right into that sort of environment, mate, because he loved doing the stuff with the
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah, you don't have to be the head cashier at Walmart to figure out that Dino is the perfect fit. I don't give a shit if he rolls around in 22nd. Go dressed up as Grandpa Earl. The PR for Honda would be so sick if they did that, dude. Imagine if Grandpa Earl came out and if he came out in character, it wouldn't be a disrespect for Honda. It would show that Honda's just rad. Like, hey, we got this bike and we're gonna go out and have fun and we're gonna give you guys what you want, dude. I think that would be sick of Honda to do, dude. But Dean is such a good dude. Everybody loves him. I wish I could like wave a magic wand and give him two new knees and he could race for another 5 years. But how sick would it be if this was Dean's last true hoorah at Supercross and he did it on factory Honda, dude? I don't give a shit what he finished. I think that would be sick, dude. Adios, muchachos. See you later. Have fun over there and fucking wherever the fuck you came from, eating mutton or whatever the hell y'all eat, And now he's a Florida boy now, but that would be sick for Dean to go out Honda HRC 450 factory guy for the rest of 2025 and sail off into the sunset, giving the finger guns to everybody behind him, and he's going to go raise his kids and lay by his pool in Florida. Dude, that's what I want to see. Dylan Ferrandez, that one makes sense, but then you got all the contract nightmares with Phoenix and all that stuff. Colin Park would be a good one. I was talking to another guy in the industry today, right before we got on the pod, and he said he mentioned him how he's a big kid and God, Colin rode good, dude, and he doesn't have to light the world on fire; it just has to be like a good story. At this point, if I was Honda, I'd be looking at it from a PR standpoint. How can we turn this lemon into lemonade, right? And Dean, Colin Park, who's another Honda
Vinci or
guy riding
McElrath.
on? Yeah, McElrath. Put McElrath on it. Hell, call B-Ray. Let's put B-Ray on there. We'll take that whiskey throttle bike back from him gladly. Let's put B-Ray on that thing. Oh man, the shit that he would do on that bike. Oh man, just Lars would probably go gray haired by the end of the Supercross season. But Jesus, that would be hilarious, dude. And B-Ray rips, dude. Don't get it twisted. He's gonna be at Dallas on our bike, and then he's going to Daytona, and he's gonna race Daytona on our bike, and he's doing the AMA Arena Cross the Friday night there. So, yeah, go B-Ray. That's sick. So if you guys
Representing
don't
Whiskey
follow
Throttle.
B-Ray, it's B-Ray338 on Instagram, dude. That is one of the coolest fucking kids that you will ever fall in this country. He's nice as hell, humble as hell, and he rips. He throws down sick whips. He races good. He's won some arena cross mains. He's made supercross mains. Yeah, he's a cool kid. If you guys aren't aware of him down there, check him out, man. He's a cool kid.
Yeah, mate, plenty of talent, plenty of style, and a good bloke to match. So it's all ticking all the boxes, isn't it, mate? And obviously repping the Whiskey Throttle bike's pretty awesome as well. So yeah,
Well,
that
he's got
also
two
just
screws
quickly,
loose, so he fits the program.
and also just quickly on Cullen Park. Did he have a bit of beef with Faulkner going on there? Wasn't there after the race?
I don't know. I didn't catch it, but one, Colin's a big dude and Faulkner's not, so I'd be very careful about pissing that guy off. Colin's a fit man, but he's a very large man. He's taller. He got to be every bit of 6'2", 6'3", something like that. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to have to tangle with a guy that good of shape and that big, dude. He'd probably ragdoll you real quick. He's not going to run out of fucking steam either. So. Yeah, it's amazing you see these guys talk shit to each other, and it's like, why don't you take the helmet off? Now, I don't know what happened, but I, I'm a pretty big dude, and I've been down the block, but I'm getting old, dude. I'd be like, yeah, whatever, bro. Say whatever you want, man. I'm too old for that shit now, But yeah, he's a big cat, man. I'd be careful about getting sideways with that dude.
Yeah, he's very talented, pretty underrated rider as well, isn't he,
But
mate?
super
So
nice guy. Like
mm,
if you met him, you're like, oh man, this guy like sell you insurance or some shit, He's just like very mild, kind of almost Clark Kent like, right? You know what I
yeah,
mean? If you met him off the thing, you wouldn't think that he's like a gnarly supercross racer. He just seemed just real nice guy, clean cut, well educated, well spoken, kind of looking dude, and but he's a savage when he gets out there and racing, and his racing's really started to come around. He's doing really, really, really good. I messaged him on his page. I was like, dude, you were a killer this weekend. Anytime I can help that guy, anything to help those guys with their confidence and just tell them, yeah, dude, kick ass, dude. It's what we should all be doing. Those guys are out there braining themselves for us. Take the 2 seconds instead of saying something negative and being a freaking asshole. Say something cool. Tell them, hey man, good job, good job. These guys ain't milk. There's only a couple of them making millions doing it. So least you could do is pump them up. Get them going.
Yeah, well said, bro. And he's a super talented rider. He's had his fair share of injuries too, mate. He's seen the ups and the downs for sure. He did World Supercross, so he's getting in there, getting the reps in, and just build that base consistency. Top fives by the end of the season for sure. He'll be aiming for maybe even a podium. Who knows, mate? So we hope to see him up there and keep building because yeah, it's a great story, like you said. And I guess you got to touch on the whole 250 debacle, mate. The Anstey had the 7-8 second lead. Obviously, the red flag situation after McAdoo, that situation, poor bloke, he's had another massive crash. He just has no luck, and he's a brave man. He keeps coming back though, so respect to McAdoo. But yeah, Anstey would be definitely feel a little bit sort of cheated on that one. He was cruising to the win, real massive blow, pretty unfair it seemed in many ways. Had it in the bag, and then obviously yeah, the restart kitchen got him. RJ got him at 1.2, but it's a strange that restart procedure. A lot of confusion around it everywhere. So yeah, tough one for Anstey, but he rode really well, didn't he, mate? He's looking like the man to beat.
Yeah, so I'll start with McAdoo. That has got to be the toughest son of a bitch, or one of the toughest son of a bitches to ever throw a leg over a dirt bike, dude. That guy just, god damn, from the Gumby flip in Georgia or wherever that was when he hooked his boot and got flipped over the bike. He looked like Gumby flying through the air. And then, just the hard slam he had in the whoops a couple years ago at Anaheim, and then this, I mean, Jesus Christ, looks like Mike Tyson whooped his ass, dude. He had a goose egg and about a 1 inch split in his cheek. His lip looked like he bit a hole through it. I mean, dude, he would look like a dead. Anybody want to see a dead body? Laying out. I was like, holy shit, and not my place to say anything about the medical crew. I don't know what's right or wrong or how they handled it, but they got him up, got him off the track, and says he's going to be good. So hopefully we'll see him in Daytona. As far as the restart that led to, um, from my understanding, they changed the rule in 2025, and what did not help the race of people, the people that are catching crap pelletiers, everybody's mad at the AMA. Well, the AMA changed the rule in 2025, and the thing that got all the fans upset, is like, why the hell did they do that? It's supposed to be 80 or 90% or whatever. Well, it didn't help that on TV last week they put up the info from last year, the old rule, you know, and so that was kind of fresh in everybody's mind. And then they're like, hey, what the hell is this bullshit? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't bullshit. The AMA followed the rules. They did. Do I think they could have waited 7 more seconds and called the race? Absolutely. Just shove everybody to the side. The couple riders are going to come by in the next 7 seconds, call the race, dude. It's anticlimactic, great, but you would have got McAdoo off the track, the race would have been over, and Anstey would have got the race that he earned. He did. But the thing that sucks is when there's a restart, it groups everybody back up. And I was like, oh shit, this thing, like as soon as they red flagged the race, I thought it was still the 90% rule. And I looked over at one of the mechanics. I go, so did you guys just win? It was one, I think it was Anstey's mechanic. I go, I think you guys just won. The race is over, right? And he goes, I don't know, I think. Nobody knew. And so when they restarted, we're like, what? And so I knew it would go green flag, then white. They'd come around and have to get a green flag to run one full lap to get the white flag, and then do the deal. And so they did that. And when I saw Kitchen come over the triple and he was in the lead, I went, oh shit, this is gonna piss some people off, dude. I'm like, not that I have a favorite over Anstey or Kitchen. I don't care who won, but I'm like, I kind of hope Anstey gets back and gets the win because this one's going to stink to high heaven. And when Kitchen went, I was just like, here we go. The Vital Forum probably went offline for like 24 hours because all the retards were like, having a fucking full meltdown. But yeah, I think I have no problem with the rule the way it's written. I think, hey, that's fine. Run the timeout. That's what they're paid to do. They're paid to race the full 15 minutes plus 2 laps, right? And that's what they made them do. I think what they need to do, maybe looking at it, like in the refining world, safety rules are written in blood. You don't change the rule until somebody loses an arm or gets killed, right? But then they make a change, right? Well, this is kind of one of those things. I think the red flag restart is kind of written in blood. They need to change it. I think they should reestablish that the top 5 forward, if Max had 7 seconds on Kitchen, and then Kitchen had 3 seconds on Hampshire, and then whoever was Vial was in fourth. I think that they ought to do the restart where they drop the green flag and they hold everybody but Max for 7 seconds, and then, or I mean, for then they would have let Levi go, and then whatever the gap from Levi to Hampshire was, then Hampshire gets to go, and then whatever it was from Hampshire to Vial, give that fourth place guy the same gap, let him go, and then after he goes, whatever the gap was to fifth, and then from fifth on, let him run. But that way, it puts the top 4 back on the track because you could have the guys battling for third and fourth position, and it reestablishes everything kind of as close as you get to the conditions when the flag was thrown. I don't think it would be that hard for them to implement that and make it happen. Because if that would have been the case and they would have sent everybody out the gate like that, nobody could open their fucking mouth about how the race resulted if Kitchen would have won it.
Yeah, well said, mate. There's a lot of obviously talk about how to fix it, but from Anstey's perspective, he's just missed out on a massive win bonus. So it's more than just the pride on the line. There's a lot of money on the line there. He's missed out on it. It's a really costly night when you look at it that way. After he did all the hard work, got the lead, rode brilliantly, and you can see why he's understandably not happy because the wrong man won. Really, Anstey was probably not going to throw that away, was he? He was in cruise mode, just getting to the checkers. So a really tough one. I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussions with solutions and better way forwards, like you said this week.
I'll tell you what blew my mind more than anything. I was looking for the Star Yamaha wheelbarrow that they used to carry Anstey's balls in and out of that track for going after Bobby Reagan on the on the
Yeah.
on the post race. I was like, holy shit, bro! Hey, yeah, hey, you might want to think about that one, son. Yeah, I tell you what, if I was Bobby Reagan, I'd be, oh yeah, and fucking Max would be riding her Schwinn next week. I don't give a fuck. I've signed the check, son. Talk about good old boy rules. Yeah, you won. You ain't winning for me no more. Bye bye. I'd have fired his ass. I mean, that's I don't know where that came from or how it worked out, but that one would have flown like a fart in church if it was me. So maybe Bobby got what he wanted out of him, but man, if I ever had an employee do that, you're fucking through, motherfucker. Later. So that took some balls. I guess I got to respect him for speaking his mind and saying what he got to say. But that blew my. I was like, holy shit, that took some balls, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know how that went over. We'll see, and who knows what happened to the farm. But that took some absolute brass balls, and if it was me, I'd have fired his ass.
Oh, mate, he certainly pumped him up, that's for sure, and got I guess, the desired outcome, even though he probably wasn't the best for him to speak his mind on it. But I suppose in the heat of the moment, mate, it made for great
No,
viewing, for sure.
and afterwards in the post-race press conference, he handled it very well.
Mm.
Yeah, but that heated, I was like, whoa, 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 zip it, stop, red light, And, if I was Bobby, I'd have been freaking livid, dude. But maybe that's why Bobby's a millionaire and owns a race team. My fat ass is on a podcast. That's the difference, and I need to rethink my program, perhaps. Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, it was a good talking point anyway, another great bit of content. But yeah, I guess your take on RJ, mate, obviously he said he was struggling all week with the bike and obviously struggled on the day in Detroit, just couldn't get comfortable. So he's obviously continuing that search, but got some vital points obviously there, mate, to get a podium. And he's back in that hunt. He's still, 23 points back down in eighth in the championship behind Mumford. Park, Thrasher, Hymus, Vial, Kitchen, and Anstey. But yeah, just good to get some points and some positive vibes, and he'll look ahead to the next round in a couple of weeks, ready to come out swinging again.
Yeah, I mean, in the post-race press conference, he made it very clear. He saw the guy from the AMA last week, and he was pissed off, boy. He was fired up, and he didn't hold back. That he thought it was bullshit that he didn't get a 10th place finish in Tampa, which he should have. And that one, I don't know. It is what it is. But RJ's not one to mix words around, and he let him know what he thought about it. And I think the other thing he said is, "Hey, I wish this would have been a couple weeks later because his wrist probably is not at full strength. He couldn't have held on if he went for the charge like he did. So he's just doing the best he can, really. But yeah, that's another one who's him and Max are probably pretty happy with the AMA right now. They're probably picking out a Christmas card to send to those guys. But I don't know. It was pretty rough, dude, for the both of them. But RJ, he's riding real good. I like how he stuffed it in there on the restart and tried to get second. But I just don't think he's quite at 100% yet.
Yeah, he's not
And
always dude.
and he
He's a
probably don't
warrior.
like them trying. He don't like them trying tough blocks. Some trying tough blocks are living the thug life, dude. Somebody's got to have a talk with those things, dude. And I think Max was out of line, freaking on the podium. The try tough blocks are just wilding out.
Yeah, mate, we thought there would be a little bit less drama this round, but that 250 chaos and the McAdoo incident, it's just sort of keeps coming, doesn't it?
Oh, dude, how about Forkner with the hitting that Triumph tough block of all,
Yeah,
dude?
Joey
In that
Savacci.
video, in that video where that tough block went flying, about three riders before that, I was standing right there and I was walking to go around to the start and I saw Forkner coming back down across the start and I stopped and I said, something just told me film Forkner and follow him through here. But if I would have stayed if I could send you the footage I had from the three riders before that tough block would have knocked me into next week. I was right there. I wasn't even really paying attention to Forkner. I was just watching the tough block go flying. I'm like, holy shit, that could have been my face, dude. And I'm sorry, but that would have hurt, dude. That would have knocked me into next month, dude. I'd have been out sleeping on the track, dude. That tough block would have knocked me the F out, dude. But luckily, Forkner landed and got up, but he popped up and he looked like a linebacker for the Lions, you know. He went through the air as a supercross racer and landed like he was ready to take a hike, you know. He went in the locker room and got some shoulder pads, but that little Alpine Stars airbag, man, that thing instantly it popped. So I was the first person to ever get that thing popping in a race. I was the first one. So it showed how quick it popped, you know. But I was like, "Come on, dude, get up!" And he popped right up. I'm like, "Okay, cool, we're good. I'll put it up." If he wouldn't have got up, I wouldn't have posted that crash. I kind of got a thing. If somebody eats shit and they get carted off, I really don't want. Like, I don't think I would have posted Pierce's crash from Tampa. I don't know. I think it's bad juju.
Yeah, that was a nasty one. Obviously, he's on the road to recovery. Definitely wish him all the best with that too, mate. And I guess your take on Vial's night, just solid, nothing too special, nothing too flashy. Crashed in the heat race. He was struggling a little bit for comfort, he said. But yeah, I guess bad start, which is uncharacteristic for him. They haven't been quite as dialed as they were in Europe. But yeah, he had a few issues with lappers. And obviously, he said the speed was good, but yeah, he's just pretty consistent. I think he's gone 5-4, so he's in the fight well and truly. And I guess in that 250 class, consistency is the key, mate. You just got to be there and thereabouts every week and make all the races, and you're in pretty good chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's riding around the fourth. I expected a little bit more from him after winning the title last year, but Kitchen came alive. Seth Hammaker's riding real good. I don't know what happened to him in the main, but in
I think he had food
qualifying,
poisoning.
is that what it was? Yeah, so he blew all his energy into the toilet before he got down to the race, apparently. But in press, he was there just qualifying. He was ripping, dude. And I still think we need to keep an eye on Hammaker. I think he's gonna get one. And when we get to Philly, look for Seth because that place is all about Seth Hammaker. You could be riding around 10th place, and they'll be cheering for him as he goes around every lap. So. Um, a lot of cool shit, and hey, good for Kitchen. You got to win, dude. He needed that. A lot of people say he got a gift, which I think he did, but a win's a win, and the check cash is the same.
Yeah, well said, mate. And I guess as we sort of wrap up, anything else from the 250 class? Obviously, Volan's still having those clutch issues, haven't quite worked it out. But yeah, he's coming along, mate. So it's always good to see him out there in the Club MX dudes. And obviously moving ahead to Arlington, one of your favorite rounds, mate. I guess preview that a little bit. It's going to be pretty awesome to see those West guys back on track. Obviously, you got Smith, Juju, Deegan, Cole Davies. It's going to be awesome seeing all those guys back at it, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, who was the 10th place guy in the 250?
Henry Miller.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Privateer got a top 10. I always think should give a shout out when that happens. I mean that might be the best finish that guy ever gets, but he was the 10th best Supercross rider in the world that night in the 250 class. So good for Henry Miller, man. You know that and those guys, you know, they're just making it happen every way they can. They don't have the big bucks behind them, so yeah, that was cool. That's about all I got for the 250s in Detroit. But man, I am ready for some more Deegan and Juju. Oh, bring it on, baby, bring it on! I want to see them guys go to town and uh, put our little buddy from New Zealand in there and make it happen. Cole Davies, he's going to have a bunch of Whitakers. He's going to be all fired up on chocolate, and Deegan's going to be swinging, and Juju's going to be doing his shit. I'm waiting for it, dude. I can't wait for Dallas, dude. It's going to be game on, dude.
Yeah, looking like military appreciation round there as well. And obviously, shout out to Shimoda as well, who should be sort of coming back to a lot better level. And his mechanic, Ben Griffith, shout out to him and his partner who have just welcomed a new baby into the world. So, really big
Yeah.
congratulations to them. But yeah, seeing Joe Shimoda out there will be good to see what sort of level he's at after a couple of weeks of recovery.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he's done pretty damn good, dude. I still think with a broken hand, he's still having the best Supercross season he's ever had. So, definitely think he's going to improve. Billy's going to be back. Want to see Billy racing. He had a little oopsie last week. We're at the Honda test track, and I was sitting there with his dog, and he has a sprinter van, and he goes, "All right, I'm gonna head out," and it was like still muddy. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go film him right now. It's still muddy. He's gonna be going slow, right?" And he pulled onto the track, and he turned left into a bull turn, and I turned around, and everybody's running over there. What the hell just happened, dude? I turned around for 2 seconds, and he's laying in the mud, and I don't know, it was slippery, and he tucked the front end and kind of jammed his left wrist. So that was it for him riding on the day. So he had to go, get the mechanics to tune him up on his wrist all week, and I'm pretty sure he's on his way to Texas right now. But we'll have Billy Laninovich back, and his birthday is after this round. But if he qualifies in Seattle or Denver or Salt Lake, he'll be 42 when he does it. So he set the bar at 41 already this year. Last year it was 40, set the bar at 41, and he has the opportunity to set the bar to 42 this year. So do you imagine if we get a guy in a main event at 42 years old? I mean, we're going to call it wheelchair cross, Jesus, So can't wait to see Billy out there riding. Of course, I'm going to root for Billy, and yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. And I think keep an eye on oh God, Cody Shock. I had a pretty good conversation with his mechanic in the tunnel on Saturday night, and I think Cody's going to surprise some people. He's riding really, really well. So definitely think he's going to be a player in the mix moving forward. I don't think it's going to be a fluke. I think you're going to see him get better and better to where he's going to be up there with those guys battling for the podiums on a regular basis from here on out.
Yeah, it should be good. And obviously, Jet Reynolds was battling a bit of sickness, so hopefully he's coming out swinging as well. And obviously, Moseman's been showing some good speed, having some early falls, but good to see how he goes. If he can get a good start, he's shown that he did in the last round. And obviously, Marchbank's returning from that shoulder injury. He's already returned, but another couple of weeks can only do his chances good. So it is, even though they're going about the East, how stacked it is, the West has still got its fair share of talents, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I was out at the Cowie test track in Corona last week, and Garrett was out there riding, McAdoo was out there, and they were both shredding, dude. Garrett's hauling ass, and McAdoo, I mean, that guy's faster than shit, dude. I hope that you can shake it off and come back. I think, Detroit kind of ruined any championship hopes for him, but at least let's get a couple wins in there, and I think the way Garrett's riding, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a podium or win either.
Yeah, well said, mate. I guess any final thoughts as well before we wrap this one up? Obviously, the week ahead for you, busy traveling to Arlington, and it obviously is one of your favourites, mate. I guess any fans thinking about making the trip, just pull the trigger, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. If you can get to Texas, that stadium's badass. It's supposed to be cold down there. People think Texas is always warm, but when it's cold in Texas, it's cold. And I think the weather's kind of calling for it to be a cold round. But AT&T Stadium is freaking badass. It's military appreciation. The bikes are all going to look sick. Everybody gets a little more pumped up, a little more trumped out. It's going to be sick. Come through. We
Yeah,
may even have some more tickets to give away. We had a couple to give away at Detroit. I'll see if I can get a couple more tickets to give away. Hopefully, maybe I can get a hold of them on Thursday night or something and do a Friday afternoon giveaway for some tickets. I'll see if I can do something like that. But if you're coming over from Australia, shit, or a couple of you, I'll buy some goddamn tickets if you make the trip. Call me.
yeah, mate. Sounds like a bucket list round, that one. I guess just quickly, what are your top 5 rounds to go to? Obviously, Glendale's a good one. Arlington's good. A1's probably top of the list. But any others you'd put in there, mate, as the best ones to go and watch for fans?
Nothing replaces Anaheim 1 ever. No, nothing replaces Anaheim 1. Anaheim 2 is cool, but nothing replaces the vibe of Anaheim 1. That's always going to be the vibe. Then I would put Arlington and then Glendale. San Diego was cool. I really like San Diego. I mean, just because of the weather, dude. You're outside watching Supercross. It's legit. And then I actually really liked the Philly round. I liked the stadium. I liked the people. That place was packed. I liked Philadelphia too. I think Philly, just if you go and make a trip out of it, and then I guess I'll kind of segue. If I was going to do outdoor nationals, first would be Washougal all day. That is the most beautiful place to put a motocross track on earth. The weather's good. It's the only place. Now, last year was actually pretty gnarly weather. It was hot and humid, which is kind of weird for that area, but usually it's perfect weather. I would probably put Washougal at the top, then Southwick, High Point, Unadilla, and Butts Creek.
What about Redbud?
Never been, so I can't put it on the list. I would be talking out of turn. But I'm sure that'll change my mind this year because I'm going to have to go to Louis Vuitton and get my wife another bag come 4th of July because my fat ass is going to be at Redbud, dude. I promise you that shit.
That's going to be so good, isn't it?
Yeah, that was sick.
No, well said, mate. That's been another Ripper podcast, mate. Before we let you go, we'll thank the sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, and Fuchs Silverleaf for all their incredible support. As without them, none of this is possible. All right, cheers again, Jeff, mate. Been another great chat. All the best and enjoy Arlington, and we'll catch up after that.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
No worries, mate. Have a good one.